Hi, good evening and welcome to the FoodSense Generation 4 weekly webinar. So we like to do this weekly webinar and we really like to answer technical questions that have come in during the week. So I do have a FoodSense Generation 4 in front of me. I must admit I have in no way actually introduced the FoodSense Generation 4 to you in any particular way. But tonight I'm going to be measuring a spicy cheese. So you can see this is a very heterogeneous sample. There's plenty of, let's say, roasted chilies in there. And it's in a very kind of creamy cheese. Now the good thing about the FoodSense Generation 4, sometimes people call it the Scoville meter, is it's really good at dealing with complex samples. And we've got a new client coming on board, and this new client is going to be measuring spicy cheese. All right, so let's go forward a little bit quicker. So this is the FoodSense Generation 4. It's an easy to use Scoville meter for measuring the hotness of olea resins, chilies, purees, chili hot sauces, spicy mayos, spicy oils, and hey, now we're going to do a spicy cheese. With that said, let me go forward and just to say, don't forget we've got a every month we do a live streaming webinar, which is a much more of a scientific deep dive than this particular webinar this evening, but that'll be on the 2nd of December 2024. Don't worry if you have in any way missed this and you're watching it much later. Just click the link below this video and you will find the next upcoming webinar. With that said, the question is how to measure a spicy cheese. So earlier on this evening I took the cheese and I actually put it into a food blender. Now it's just a domestic food blender. The reason I mention that is I don't want to kind of give this impression that you necessarily need super complex additional equipment. So I did blend up the cheese into, and like I say, it wasn't anything industrial. I've also got a vortexer, and the vortex will come up in a minute. So what happened was, I took the cheese, I put it through the blender, and you'll see me open that lid up now. So I took this cheese, I put it through the blender. It kind of, I don't know how to describe it really. It's quite a soft, rich cheese. So in fact, it really kind of, as I say, crumbled it up because it's quite sticky with itself as well. But I did manage to break it up quite a bit. Now, on the right-hand video, you can see me actually vortexing this sample. So I've got this sample in front of me now. This is what's really good about the FoodSense Generation 4, actually, that these two videos I made were only just a few minutes ago, just in preparation for this webinar. This is the sample here. You can see that this sample is far from being like a homogeneous sample. I mean, it's a really good reflection of the cheese itself. This is quite a heterogeneous sample. The reason I bring that up slightly is because I said, oh, there's no extra sort of equipment necessary. I mean, it's probably worth me saying that, of course, I did have a vortexer, so I have been vortexing these samples, and the vortexer is really good because it does actually really help to kind of extract the capsaicin out of those samples. Now let me just go forward in this and say I think what I was planning to do next was do a measurement. I should say that I took 0.1 grams of the cheese sample and diluted it in 0.9 mils of the chili pot buffer. So I took 0.1 grams of the cheese after I had cut it up, chopped it up in the food blender. I weighed out 0.1 grams and I suspended that in 0.9 mils of buffer. So I'm just going to go to this view now. So here's the sample now. I might just reach out slightly out of camera and just vortex it again, just to make sure it's, so I'm vortexing that. I'll bring it back into shot. Here it is, all powdery and full of stuff. I'll take out this old sensor. You can't reuse chili sensors. We do go into this during the webinar. I'm actually going to bring the, whoops-a-daisy. I'm just going to bring the app in now as well. So this whole device is controlled using an app. You can definitely download this app off the Android store, or you can download it off the Google Play Store. And I will think a bit loudly like that. Right, I'll take a sample and do the measurement. So I'm going to take 50 microliters of the sample. So let me just take that sample. which I'm now doing. I'll put it on the sensor, which I'm now doing. I will hit continue, start measurement, and off it's going. So the nice thing is about the app is it's giving me a sense that, you know, at least it's doing something in real time, because I can see all these, let's say, little indications that it's working away. So now what it does is it's uploading to the cloud. It'll do the analysis on the cloud, and then it'll send me back the result, and I can see it flashing away. Oh, sorry, you can't see that, but the app and the meter are in communication with one another, and when it's complete, then it will go to the cloud. Now, what I might do for a second is I'm just gonna do something on my computer, which is right. So I've got a result on my app, so I'll hold that up to that, and this is. And I'm also going to share something on my screen as well. So what it says on my phone is, it says 354 Scoville, 354 Scoville heat units. I'll just actually go to here and hold it up there. That might be, it's a bit bright at the moment, but then that brightness will go. So what's nice about the FoodSense Generation 4 is, if you're just a sort of, you know, you're using your scientists or your food technicians or your operators to control consistency in production, you can just give a simple answer like this. But what's really kind of neat about this is actually the way it sends results to the cloud as well. So if I just go to my screen here, I just go to my data, actually I just go here, I'll just do a quick refresh. I'll see my new data pop up in a minute. You can see how much testing we do at Zimmer & Peacock. I mean, this is just me alone, and this is not my lifetime testing, but I'm at least on test 746. So I'm really not sure how many people have done 746 type of chili tests in their lives, but there we go. All right, so I jump in here, and I can see, if you're very familiar with our FoodSense Generation 4 technology, you will have an understanding of, often we show these more intense peaks, but this is a very mild material. And it's kind of interesting actually, because sometimes people will kind of say, oh well, it's hotter than that, but this really is a mild material. So what it is I get the 354 Scoville heat units, which is what I showed on the phone. I also get the raw signal as well, so it's not, I'm not just saying it's mild, I can actually see it in the raw signal at the same time. And I might just change cameras for a second, because sometimes, you know, I mean, you know, you can sanity check yourself by, you know, I mean, this is, you know, if that was a chili, I wouldn't be eating that much. I mean, it's definitely tasty, but it is mild. It's not. So 354 Scoville heat units is kind of one of the most mild things we would ever measure. I mean, you've got people like Pepper X, Ed Curry. His dried Pepper X is like 2.7 million Scoville heat units. So this is, well, you can see it yourself. This is about 5 orders of magnitude. Actually, I will be careful with my maths. Maybe it's 10 orders, 10 to the 4, 10,000 orders of magnitude less. Anyway, so let me just do a quick wrap up now and just say this is the FoodSense Generation 4. We can use it for analysing many types of chili samples, including complex chili samples like spicy cheese. We come back and say the spicy cheese is quite mild. You wouldn't be super surprised actually that, you know, that the spicy cheese is mild, because, you know, if that was the equivalent in chilies, you know, you would be kind of weeping and stuff with that kind of material. So I think I want to say, if you've got any questions about testing the Scoville Heat Unit of chilies, chili peppers, chili sauces, oleo resins, chili oils, mayos, and spicy cheeses, then please don't hesitate to contact us. It makes me laugh actually, because I realise that people put these sort of, you know, these chili symbols actually on the packaging, and this says medium. But of course, that's a, you know, what does that mean? 2 chili markings, you know. So you can actually measure the Scoville heat units of these things and actually make that, let's say, more quantifiable. But if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to us. Okay, thanks very much.